It is now the 20th of March and it's 1 a.m.-ish. I've woken up, I was asleep all yesterday and I'm being tortured. I've got crackling, mouthing noises being made, crackling in my ears, mouthing noises being projected onto me and I'm being told these horrendous, fatalistic, catastrophic sound bites from Rob Perino's persona saying that, oh, all right, tell the police and see if they can unpick it to 2002, coughed. And then he's saying that means between to 2017. He's saying, I don't know why. I don't understand any of it. I only know that I was suddenly being tortured from January 2016. Before that, strange things have happened. I'm being breathed at like that as I'm making this recording from my left-hand side. The torture is horrendous and completely unbearable, unlivable, like I'm spending vast swathes of time in bed, begging Margaret to contact the police on my behalf. She won't do that. She's ignoring me when I'm being tortured at its worst, like the last few days that have precluded me attending a job interview remotely. She doesn't talk to me. She goes AWOL. She won't pick up her phone. She won't respond to text messages, so she knows whatever timings are involved, I suppose. And when I have absolutely no insight into this, why sometimes it's worse than others, all I do know is that since November 2019 it has been all the time at midnight most nights. Peter Hawes' persona is being projected onto me, even in isolation. Peter Hawes is 30 years estranged from me. He's a complete stranger. It's horrendous being shown it. And so tonight I'm being given soundbites from Pauline, Margaret, Robert, Peter. I'm being shushed at with fat, wet lips. I'm being told things. I don't believe any of this is true. I don't know how they did this evil to me, telling me that the endings changed somehow. Something about the bill payer being me, something about Angus having Margaret, something about the police not listening. If you go and approach them now, they'll treat it as mental health. Something, and that was from Pauline. That was a threat from Pauline. I'm being told that Robert's saying unpick it until 2017. Unpick what? Weird things were happening in the home. Abusive things happened from the very start. I was walking on eggshells from basically the first time that I moved into Lovelace House. Very early on, things were very intimidating, offensive, and even criminal activity was going on. Very antisocial, and I was the victim of that. I tolerated it because some other people were young. There was a recession. There were social reasons for people having their noses put out of joint. Yet it became anyway, so I don't really know what Robert Perino meant by that. And then from I can't remember if it was Christmas 2013 or Christmas 2014, there were strange effects in the property which I wasn't sure whether they were being caused by people's activities or whether they were being caused spontaneously somehow. And then they abated by 2015. There was some relief. Nobody could make up being tortured for all this time. You couldn't see Nazanin Zaghari, who's been affected for less time in their imprisonment, and say that they could make it up to them. I'm being tortured by the content of the soundbites, therefore. I'm being mouthed at from here in a persona that's indistinguishable between whether it's Hannah or Margaret Medina. It seems like both of them. I know, because I'm very terrified, because suddenly it's gone from, suddenly everything's wrong. It was done, Pauline was saying, it was done by Robert through Hisham. I don't know if that's true. I'm being told, all right, very intimidating email from Charlotte Bristow then. I'm I'm being told, sent by them to you about driving. I'm being told to get the police about everything you own. And they'll try to take it from under your feet. I'm being shown Pauline tugging something. I don't understand why suddenly they're saying it was Hisham, now it's not Hisham. And then prior to that, earlier, about an hour ago, they were saying something, Pauline Thompson was saying, get Aidan McGinley interviewed about Catalyst or something like that. I think it's very clear that you have an obligation to not to omit to help your neighbour if they are in grave danger or something that comes to your attention has happened. There, I think that there's some kind of provision in negligence law that they can be held liable. I think so, I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a concept, and I think that it's pretty obvious that one person, certainly having been very low, I'm being told the word low key, just a working girl, suddenly who hasn't got anything especially controversial going on, certainly being a hard-working person, suddenly being afflicted by the problems at Catalyst, and then the illegal subletting, and omitting to answer questions that when asked civilly, like I was, and flying off the handle and behaving like a maniac. I know, but there is a lot. I'm being shown Hisham tapping their nose. No, I've been tortured. I was tortured from being in my property. I thought that no longer living there and subletting myself, when that was the only answer, when I wasn't getting anywhere through Catalyst, would have removed, I'm being breathed at the moment, all the torture. I thought it was because there was some will for me not to live there, but it was disliked by certain quarters, and certainly they have been explicit in telling me so, and that's why they were using this extraordinary method of ousting me, and yet that hasn't solved the talk. We're not in my home anymore, and I'm still being affected by this voodoo-like problem, and I'm being shown Hannah Lewis's persona doing the noise I just tried to mimic as I'm speaking this, and that hasn't worked. Leaving the property hasn't worked, but I'm being told thank you. But I'm reflecting on the fact that nobody else has been tortured out of there. Other people left and sublet illegally against their contracts. I would have thought those people who had lived alongside peacefully for like 7 or 8 years ought to have a duty to answer my questions, and if they were aware of anything, to have said something. So they're very much blameworthy, in my opinion. They seem to have taken, an advantage that they're not entitled to, and acted very suspiciously and dubiously, trying to blame me to cover up whatever's been going on. I don't know why Margaret's behaviour is so bizarre. I don't know why Angus's behaviour was so outrageous, just outrageous, unprecedentedly outrageous. I don't know why Robert and Chris Mayer suddenly won't talk to me. It's all very militant looking from where I'm sitting. I'm getting all this personas projected